Evita had started out in 1976 as a quasi-rock concept album. It was soon turned into a stage show, and a movie version was also rumored, even announced, but never materialized. Madonna, fascinated by the character of Eva Peron, began campaigning for this part in the mid-'80s. Her name came up again after her appearance in the box office hit Dick Tracy, but that too fell through. Now the movie is underway at last, and Madonna's finally landed her dream role.
How did you get the role this time around? Did you have to campaign?
Grovel. Do you want to see the scars on my knees?
Surely there was no groveling involved.
Oh, yes. There's always groveling involved. I did launch a campaign. I mean, mostly phone calls and letter writing and incantations and lots of candle lighting in church and stuff like that.
Did you show up in guise at one point?
No, but what I did was I sent my Take a Bow video.
I've always been in love with you.
When I was thinking about the visual for that, I was inspired by Eva Peron, the style of the 40s and the 50s, the way she used to dress, actually. So I thought, oh, this is perfect timing. So I sent him the video and a 10-page letter listing all the reasons why I was the only person who could play the part.
When did you first become aware of this story? I mean, was it through the musical, or did
No,
you
I learned about it in history class in high school, but I don't think I paid an incredible amount of attention to it. And then when I moved to New York, the musical was going on. I never went to see the musical, but I knew of its existence.
The 1980 Broadway production of Evita, with Patti LuPone in the title role, won 8 Tony Awards and helped launch the show as a global phenomenon.
Do you think that the people who saw this show, perhaps when it first came out, are going to see this and say, oh, what have they done to this sacred text?
No. I think they're going to see it and go, wow. I think people who are already fans of it are going to love it even more.
Director Alan Parker, whose credits range from Midnight Express to Fame, The Commitments, and Pink Floyd's The Wall, faced an unusual challenge in making Evita. All the dialogue is sung, requiring the cast to gather in London to record the soundtrack before shooting on the film itself began.
This is such an unusual genre to be able to act and sing. I mean, goodness knows that MTV knows that images and music work with regards to communicating to people. And I think if you can do that in long form, in strong dramatic form, it's quite special.
I gather Alan's shooting this in a different way from the traditional musical in which people suddenly erupt into song in the middle of a cornfield.
Yeah, no, it's done in a very naturalistic way. Yeah, completely.
Well, here the challenge has been not to burst into song, but to hopefully take the audience along and have them listen to a story that's told entirely through music.
It's difficult because you don't have the freedom and the capacity of improvisation that normally you have in other movies. We have to be right there, you know, right on the track and respecting every note.
Was everyone aware that Antonio could sing? I mean, or was this a revelation to people?
Well, I knew he could sing because he was going to do it many other versions ago. I don't think the rest of the world knew he can sing, and he's quite a good singer, so I think people will be pleasantly surprised.
A new Argentina, the voice of the people.
Antonio Banderas loomed large in Madonna's 1991 concert film, Truth or Dare.
He didn't loom that large. He had this much of a scene. Everyone makes such a big deal about it.
Oh, well, that's what I meant to
So
say.
boring.
Antonio Banderas. This Spanish actor that I've had a crush on for 2 years. I've got it all worked out in my head. I'm gonna make Antonio fall madly in love with me. Only there was this one rather major obstacle that I'd never really counted on. His wife.
I was a big fan of his then, and I am now. I mean, before, when I was talking about him in the movie, saying, God, I want to meet him, he's so gorgeous, I really didn't know him, and that's the attitude of somebody who is fixated on an image of somebody, and they haven't been humanized for you yet. I've gotten to know him over the years, and we've become friends, and he's not anywhere nearly as interesting. No, I'm just kidding. He's great, but he's been humanized for me, and I don't look at him the same way.
What are we wearing?
Anything to keep warm. I had to do a lot of manipulating to get to wear a coat tonight.
Who made these clothes? Is there anyone we know?
This is period. I don't know what this is. I've got...
Could we see it? Is it possible? I know it's cold.
Well, I look kind of chubby because I'm wearing lots of long underwear, so...
Well, explain that.
Well, long underwear and the beginnings of a long-sought pregnancy, courtesy of boyfriend Carlos Leon.
So you've actually had a relationship with Carlos for 2 years now. This is good, right? This is kind of, unless, of course, you can talk about it.
Can we talk about the movie?
Sure.
Good.
Okay. Okay. See what you're saying.
Touchy, touchy, touchy. All right, time for a quick break, but we'll be back with more Madonna-rama south of the border, so stay tuned.
Bye. And I just want to say that I'm not getting paid enough to suffer this much.
Hey there, Serena Altschul here at the 1996
This is Hero Square in Budapest, where, as you can see, director Alan Parker and his minions have gone to great trouble to recreate the feeling of Buenos Aires in the 1950s. This scene here is going to be Eva Perón's death scene. As you can see, they brought in all these flowers. They've even brought in some palm trees to recreate the South American feeling. They've done everything they could to recreate the Buenos Aires of that period. The only thing they couldn't do is recreate the passion of the Argentinian people for Eva Perón, and for that, they had to go south.
Eres una idiota.
I feel like I survived a war.
Madonna's arrival in Argentina was just like old times, which is to say complete pandemonium. Fans were ecstatic, of course, but church and political leaders who treasured the memory of the woman they called Evita were outraged that Madonna had been chosen to portray her. And yet, Eva Perón was not unlike Madonna in terms of her enormous will and determination. Born poor and illegitimate in a small rural town in 1919, Eva Duarte dreamed of becoming a movie star, and at the age of 15 ran off to Buenos Aires with a tango singer. By 1944, already a radio personality and budding movie actress, she had set her sights on Colonel Juan Perón. Eva persuaded him that by positioning himself as a champion of the poor, and with her help, Perón could become the country's maximum leader. They married in 1945, and within months, Perón was elected president. Evita was given her own government office, from which she cultivated her admirers among the workers and peasants. Perón's raised wages, gave women the vote, nationalized industries, and ultimately ran the Argentine economy into the ground. Evita created her own foundation for the poor, but she also cultivated an appetite for high-priced Paris fashions. And with her husband, she reportedly funneled untold sums of state money into secret Swiss bank accounts. Just being First Lady was not enough for Evita, but her plans to run for Vice President alongside her husband were sundered when she learned that she had terminal cancer. She died in July of 1952 at the age of 33. Evita's story doesn't read like the usual life of a saint, but a saint is what she is to many Argentines, and when Madonna arrived in Buenos Aires, their resentment was loudly apparent.
We cannot accept Madonna saying she's just like Eva Perón because they both moved the people. Evita moved us by giving her life to her nation, and Madonna by exposing her vagina.
They're saying Madonna's scandalous and has sex, but they don't realize that everybody has sex. Nobody's a saint.
For me, she's more than a singer. She's a way of life. It's a shame these kids have idols that aren't worth anything. They're judging her for her personal life, and they're not looking at her artistic capabilities.
No me gusta para nada.
I don't like it one bit. It doesn't seem respectful. It seems totally out of place and a disaster. Better they don't do it.
Local hostility got so out of hand that a press conference had to be hastily arranged to calm the critics.
Truthfully, I think that the negative remarks that people have made are based on things that people don't know and don't understand. And I urge you all to form your opinions after you see the movie. It's a very grand story. It's a very operatic story. It's not just her life story, but it's also the backdrop of Argentine politics. It's the rise and fall of fascism in South America. And her story alone, to me, could be a musical. It's like A Star is Born, a girl who starts from nowhere, a rags to riches story, who brings herself up in the world and educates herself and becomes someone incredibly important.
It's the paradox that makes it interesting, makes it such a great story, you know. I mean, it's saint or sinner. I think there's a mixture of both in the woman.
I'm not interested in playing her one way or the other, like the saint that the Peronist thought she was, or the, you know, the whore, the sinner that the anti-Peronist. I mean, both of those are one-dimensional, and people that attain that sort of power in their lifetime can never be just one thing anyway.
The biggest battle the filmmakers fought in Buenos Aires was for permission to film on the balcony of the presidential palace, the Casa Rosada, from which the Perones often addressed their followers. This permission could only be given by one man, one of Argentina's foremost Peronistas, President Carlos Menem.
I played him the music from the movie, and I explained to him what we wanted to do and how important it was that we had his support and his cooperation. And I begged him to let us film on the balcony of the Casa Rosada, and at the end he looked at me and he said, anything's possible.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I never left you. All through my wild days, my mad existence, I kept my promise. Don't keep your distance.
I mean, the transformation of yourself is remarkable when you look at Evita and her. And so you have a tooth thing going on. And
Yes, I have fake teeth, temporarily bonded teeth. You can't see the space.
yes,
And I have brown eyes.
it's very convincing.
Do I look different?
You look like it's from another planet. It's
Really?
incredible. From a planet of beautiful
I hope
people.
it's not a planet full of ugly. I was going to say it, not a planet of ugly people or
No.
scary-looking people.
No. It's charming.
This here is the makeup van, and makeup plays a key role in this movie. Now, of course, no one is here right now. Why else would we be here? But as you can see, everything is done right here. Hours of makeup are executed every day. Everyone gets up real early to do this. Here's all the brushes, pins, pads, potions, and powders. Here's a script, which someone seems to have been looking through. This is a scene we just saw. This is Eva Perón from period magazines, newspapers, news photos. This is the woman herself, and this is how she looked. Over here is what the magic of makeup has created. This is Madonna as Eva Perón, and the effect is striking. She looks like Eva Perón. It's really pretty amazing. And this is the model for Madonna's head. Hard as ever.
I was reading something about you at the age of, I don't know, 6th grade or something, where you were in some talent show and you did something to Baba O'Reilly, the Who song.
I wore a bikini, and I had my girlfriend paint in fluorescent paint flowers all over, very influenced by Laughing, if you remember.
Who wasn't?
Exactly. A real cultural experience. And I painted these things all over my body, and then I got on stage. I had a black light and a strobe light facing me, and I turned that song on and I just danced. And then my father grounded me for like the entire summer or something. It was well worth it. I got asked out on a lot of dates after.
I'll bet. Can you show me one of these dance steps? Like, is there any hope for me on doing something like this?
Oh, please.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
It's a simple waltz.
Well, that's easy.
Go to
You
Fred
just say.
Astaire's School of Dance. I'm not showing you anything. I'm an old woman. I have stiff joints. I have to go to the bathroom now, so.
Okay.
It's coming!
The 1990s found around the world.
What was the hardest part of all this for you? I mean, you are a dancer, so that can't be too hard. You are a singer.
Yeah, but it was all hard because I want it to be good.
Yeah.
Argentina was really difficult. It was 100 degrees every day, burning, beating down sun, and then we had all the craziness going on around us and the protests and this and that, and then we come here and it's so cold you can see your breath every night, and the bishop won't let us in the church.
For movie makers in search of a city still filled with architecture of the 1930s and 40s, which Buenos Aires no longer is, the Hungarian capital of Budapest, fresh from decades in the Cold War communist orbit, is perfect. And although a local bishop recoiled at allowing a Madonna movie to be shot in his church, the natives were otherwise happy to help out.
Here in Budapest, we have a crowd of Hungarians portraying a crowd of Argentinians, all turning out in support of their leader, Evita, in the film version of the hit musical starring Madonna in the biggest film role of her career.
Although Madonna has appeared in a few hit films, Desperately Seeking Susan, Dick Tracy, and A League of Their Own, it's no secret that the rest of her movies have generally been clunkers. She's been repeatedly sandbagged by critics and has repeatedly picked herself back up and tried again. Evita is the part that could turn her film career around, and to play it, she spent months working with a vocal coach to build up her voice, and even canceled plans to tour in support of her album, Bedtime Stories.
I did have to make a choice. I had to decide, you know, do I want to make this movie, and am I aware that it's going to take up a good almost 2 years of my life, and was I willing to make that sacrifice? And in the end, I suppose I was.
Now I am a worker, I've suffered the way that you do. I've been unemployed and I've starved and I've hated it too. But I've found my salvation in Peron. May the nation let him save them as he saved me.
I trained with an incredible vocal coach in New York. Her name is Joan Lader. And David Caddick, the musical director of the movie, turned me on to her. She apparently coaches a lot of people on Broadway. She worked with Patti LuPone, Roberta Flack. I mean, a lot of great singers. And I was sometimes sandwiched in between them in their lessons, which was a really horrifying and intimidating experience. Creeping, like, up to the door. I remember one time Roberta Flack had a lesson after me, and I was mortified because I was sure she was like had her ear to the door.
Did Patti LuPone have anything to say in passing?
She didn't say anything to me, but she did say to Joan that she thought that I would do a good job, and she was very generous. So there you go.
You just never know.
Italian chicks supporting each other.
So I imagine the record company is by now saying, gee, it'd be nice if you came back.
Sure. Yes, time to make us some money. Yeah, but, well, the record's out on their label, so that's going to make them money.
I mean, what do you think are the most startling tracks or the most striking tracks?
Well, definitely the new song, which is called You Must Love Me.
Might this be a single?
Yeah, it will. It definitely will. It's a real tearjerker. You'll cry listening to it. Well, maybe you won't.
No.
I don't know how sentimental you are.
Cried a babe. Yeah, so
You
maybe.
did?
Well, a tear.
Did you cry at Forrest Gump?
No.
You didn't? Neither did I.
To hell with those silly people.
But I have cried listening to my own song, I mean, which is kind of pathetic, but it's beautiful music. It really is.
All the little beauties with their salient obsession.
Madonna also makes a rare appearance backing up brother-in-law Joe Henry on Guilty by Association, a track from the Sweet Relief 2 benefit album.
You turn up on this Joe Henry tune, which it was really unusual to hear you in this context.
Have you heard it?
Yes, I have.
It's a good song.
Yeah, it is a good song. How did he wangle you into doing this? Was there subterfuge involved?
He lured me over with my sister's fantastic anchovy pasta.
And just lead you out into the garage is pretty much how it went?
Yeah. Very.
It's interesting to hear.
Very simple. Easy to.
Sure, I'll do it.
Provide the right food and beverages.
Are you a cook yourself? Do you whip things up? That gene didn't come down to you?
No.
Oh.
Didn't get it.
It's too bad. You got the dining out gene.
I did.
That's good. That's good.
I got the American Express gene.
Might you turn up on other Joe records, perhaps? I guess
You never know.
it only works once, probably.
You never know.
International film distributors who saw an excerpt from Evita at the Cannes Film Festival were impressed. But the pressure is on. Hollywood hasn't turned out a successful musical since Grease, way back in 1978.
The musicals of old really relied on the audiences being incredibly naive.
Yeah.
Everyone's grown up. Basically, you can't... movies have become much more naturalistic and realistic. And that goes for movies in general that come out of Hollywood, because you couldn't make any of those great romantic comedies that Cary Grant did. I mean, because people, you know, who believes like people sleeping in separate beds anymore, you know what I mean? So I think that had a lot to do with it. And can we bring them back? I certainly hope so.
But all you have to do is look at me to know that every word is true.
After this film, will you go back to like music, or are you just taking off into Hollywood after this? What do you think?
I don't know. This has been such an exhausting experience for me. I can't even think about what I'm going to do next. I need to take a rest. I do.
Pop the corn, get good and comfortable. It's the premiere of the 1996 MTV Movie Awards, coming up next.
That's right, they're still here. Just say Kurt.
Is this a typical day? 12 hours, huh?
This is a day from hell.
Ah.
Okay. Say bye to Kurt, he's leaving. Bye, have a good time.
Thank you.